Hello, my beautiful thinking people. Try to give you another, hopefully a good FSD drive that can showcase its talents and less of the warts. So my first destination will be the usual run, which will give you a good indication as to whether or not it's doing well. I don't think I want to go out that way, so I'm going to not engage it here because it wants to go out to where there's almost no room to make the transition to the other side of the street. It would have been a dangerous effort to get across there without causing all kinds of disruption. I always prefer to let it go from start to finish. That would be much preferred. But sometimes you just don't get what you want. There's my first wart. Why in heaven's name it would decide to go into this lane next to construction cones, I have no idea. Should have just stayed in this lane right from back there. But hey, you know what? I don't know what the algorithm or what the AI is telling it to do or why. But it sometimes makes no sense, other than it seems to always prefer to be somewhat following other traffic. So that's how it seems to bias, in my opinion. And I don't like that. Because it would make people nervous too, right? If they pass you and all of a sudden the car that they just passed goes right behind them when there's clear sailing in the other lane, and the car turns into your lane to follow you, you'd be like, is that a cop? Is that somebody dangerous? What's going on? Soft intervention, I'm going to raise the speed limit here, or raise the max speed. Which will help for it not to go into the right lane for no reason. And again, I raise the speed there to try to get the same result. Adjusted the mirrors because I got a wiener who was right on my tail there. You ever notice those with the poopiest vehicles seem to want to take off faster than everybody else? It's almost like they're embarrassed. They just want to get out of the way. Zoom, zoom. Even though that shortens the life of their car. Because it's not a sports car. I don't always love rain, but I can tell you these last 2 days of rain have taken away almost all the snow. And that would be thankfully taking away all the snow. Another soft intervention coming up, because I know the way it works when it sees a little bit of snow or whatever, it seems to go into the next lane. So I'm gonna have to pass this guy to get past that snow. Oh, it's not doing as horrible as it's been doing the last little while. It's been like going way out of its way to get around a little puddle. No, don't go back. Don't go back. If you're looking ahead, you can see parked cars. So that kind of reasoning doesn't seem to click into this AI software at all, because it does that so often where you can clearly see right up ahead there's parked cars. To go into that lane is just defeating your purpose and interfering with other traffic. And it's going to, it's going across the line. It's supposed to go across the line, but it only does that when there's no other vehicles. So why doesn't it just stick to the proper way? Make the wide turn, secondary left turn lane to secondary lane. Uh-oh. It doesn't show the lights at all. I thought at least it would show the lights blinking on that car, on that vehicle. That would be a good start. Thank you! You didn't take off this time. The bicycle lights turn green, and sometimes it makes the car think, oh, it's my turn to go. Okay, that was okay because I think I'm in the hurry profile, even though it usually doesn't show hurry profile until you're on the highway. I think it does put you in a hurry profile. Just an opinion. I'm looking at the back of this Honda straight in front of us, and I have this uncanny, eerie feeling that they stole a portion of the Lexus taillights to integrate into their car. Now, I may be wrong, but looking at their taillights, it kind of reminds me of a Lexus. A partial Lexus taillight. It's so nice to see that most of the construction here is done and gone. The greatest thing I have to report about these new updates is that it seems that the things that are going wrong are just annoyances. Like, they're nothing serious. Like, if it does go into the far left lane and there's parked cars there and other cars kind of gain on us and get us trapped in there, and it'll just wait till there's an opening and it'll turn back into the center lane. So it's not critical by any means. So what you would say is first world problems, maybe? Yeah, first world problems. Oh, it got into the lane behind parked cars. Isn't that terrible? Well, it could get to become a real pain in the butt. Yeah, you see, there's one where we know most of us would have went right through that one. Because as long as our car is in the intersection, while it's yellow, we're fine. We're good to go. Oh wow, it totally knocked the camera off its axis. My apologies on behalf. That was a real inertia causing stop. Good thing I was seat belted in. I could have went through the windshield. Actually, knowing how solid these windshields and glass items are, I don't think I'd go through it. I think I would just become a whole lot squishier. Ooh, limited Sonata. You think they've been drinking today? They're having a hard time navigating their vehicle. Just in case. I just want to do that just in case. And sure enough, they straddle both lanes. They're really having a hard time keeping their car in line. And there's police up ahead. Do they pull over and wait for the police to disappear? Or do they take a chance of driving past it and the policeman making a U-turn and coming after them? Yeah, they're all over their lane. It's almost like they came close to bouncing off the sidewalk. Well, it's good to recognize those things and get out of the way. Thank you, Tessie, for not going into the right lane, which is, again, just an annoyance, but it's also illegal for it to cross back over on the solid line. So, even though it does correct itself down that lane that heads onto the highway, it shouldn't correct itself. It should actually continue going onto the highway and along. So there's another first world problem. We came off of a 60 zone onto a 70 zone. It showed the max is 73, and it was still doing like 62. Now it's going down again, but that could be because of this curve. Yeah, back to 68, 69, 70, 71. There we go. Now we're kind of in sync. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought it was going to go yellow and we were going to get a nice hard inertia again. Like warp speed in reverse. Hey, guys and gals, I got a great story for you. It's not a wonderful story. It's just a really Tesla positive story. I came out today looking for a package that was to be delivered, and it looked like my neighbor was looking for a boost. His hood was up. There's another car sitting there on a weird-ish kind of an angle. So I asked him, I said, do you guys need a boost? Because I got a booster pack. And they said, oh, no, we don't need a boost. He goes, I just came back last week from $800 bill getting my wires replaced. And now I come down, open my hood, my wires are chewed off again. See what I mean about it trying to get in the lane to follow people? It was already in that lane. It chose the right lane, which was the smart lane to be in. There's no obstructions along this lane. And then it just, because that guy went into the left lane, it decided, let me go in the left lane. Yeah, even our stop is saying that we're stopping on the right side. So there's no reason for the car to get into this lane. Anyways, so I go over to take a look at his car, and oh my Lord. It looks like the squirrels were definitely taking apart the inside, underside of his hood for their own nesting. And it took a whole bunch of plastic and other stuff. Like, it ate the cover that goes over the engine that shows, you know, Nissan, whatever size motor it is or whatever. They ate half of that. And I don't think they ate it. I think they took it for material for their nests and stuff, because I can't see them eating it. They'd be dead. Like, the chunk that was missing on that cover was enormous. So he was talking to me about it and asked me how my car was doing, and I said, well, most of the wiring on this car seems to be sealed and tucked away. I said, and the large high power cables, they must be made of a different material that these rodents don't like. Because yeah, mine's been parked in the same place for a couple of years now, and thank God I haven't experienced the same difficulty. So he already spent $800 getting those wires all redone. And now he comes back, he's going to have to do it again. I told him, I said, buddy, sell it. Get it fixed, sell it, and buy a Model Y. And then we got into the discussion as to how expensive the Model Y was or whatever, and I said, it's not that expensive. When you look at the money you're going to save and the aggravation you're going to save, he goes, yeah, I know, you know, I was thinking about it, and I told my son about it, and he went out and he bought a Camry. I was like, well, he'll learn down the line. As compared to a Camry, Tesla's just knocked them out of the park in every avenue, especially cost of ownership over the life of the vehicles. Anyway, so hopefully he sells it and gets himself a Model Y, and when he talks about how much he loves it, his son is going to want to commit hara-kiri. And, you know, I'm joking about that. It would take some kind of individual to go that far over a car. See, I like that it's staying in the left lane right now. The only time it should change over into the right lane is if people are up on our bumper wanting to go faster. Then we should move over to the right lane and let them go. If we end up in the right lane, then we stay in the right lane until something makes us move out of it. Okay, what made us move out of it is that our waypoint is coming up very quickly. And look at that. I don't like that. A harsh, abrupt avoidance of a a little bit of water on the road that isn't even pooling. The temperature is 3 degrees. We shouldn't be worried that it's going to be ice. So that's a little tweaking that Tesla team can do, is realize that based on the temperature and the wind chill, what are the chances of that being ice? If it's not ice, stop flying into the next lane to get away from it when it's like a tiny little puddle and everybody's going to be looking at us like we're totally lost our minds. Soft intervention here, folks. I want to go into the middle lane. There's no reason for us to sit in this left lane when there's 2 other lanes. Fairly nice stoppage. It was still a little bit too early because although we were using a lot of regen, you could see on the bottom of that line it was turning white, which means that the brakes were being used to assist the regen to stop. So in my opinion, that means we were moving up too quickly on the red light. Ooh, Model S, 75D right beside us. He took off pretty actively from that corner, but he's turning left there, so I just think they are such beautiful cars. Model S is designed, I think, more beautifully than almost any regular car on the road. So smooth, so what we would call sexy when it comes to a car. A very sexy made car. Anyway, that front camera that they're going to be adding to some of the vehicles coming up, I think is going to be a massive bonus. Like the other day I went to a car wash and the car actually drove in and went all the way to the car wash, but then it hit the rail because obviously it couldn't see where the tire was supposed to go in. But it looked like it was going to try to take us into the car wash. So I was pretty impressed by its effort, but that camera on the front would have told it, oh, in between those rails, and it would have adjusted itself to land right in between them. That's going to be another thing they're going to have to take into account. And again, the cleaning of it is going to be another issue again. Folks, I'm going to cut this ride a little bit short because I want to take a look at something. I got some papers to ruffle through and see if I'm going to divert my direction. Okay, but I'd say all in all, beautiful ride here. Could have been way worse. Some of the older versions would have been way worse. My soft interventions were just soft interventions. Not unexpected when somebody has preferences. Okay, so taking over, folks. We'll chat at you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and above all, stay as happy as humanly possible. And remember, we don't give up, we don't give in. But we keep an open mind because that's where we gather our knowledge. And knowledge is the only power we will ever have. Till next time, take care.